leaves are starting to grow back on the trees. Yay! Hi friends, welcome back to another cozy vlog. I am so excited to share this vlog because it is my official first vlog for spring. I know technically it's still not spring. Spring officially starts March 20th, I believe, but spring has definitely arrived early here where I live. There is so much foliage growing. There are so many flowers growing all around me, and it just makes me so excited. And so I thought, in the spirit of spring coming early, that I would do an early spring vlog to just freshen up my space and give it a nice little spring bedazzle. I have a craft that I want to do in this vlog that I'm very excited for. And I also want to go through my books and kind of do a little spring TBR for myself and kind of put all those books together in an area. That way I can read them this spring season. I have been working really hard to read my physical TBR just because I have so many unread books, and I made it a goal this year that I wasn't going to be buying so many books and rather just reading the books I have so I can lower my TBR, which has been working. I've been reading my physical TBR and it's been great. I will say that this year so far already hasn't been the greatest when it comes to reading. I have been sucking at reading this year, you guys, and I feel like there's just so much going on in my personal life, and also with the art stuff that I've been doing that is just taking so much of my time that I can't find either the time to sit down and read, or by the time I do, I'm just mentally tired that I just can't sit down and read, or to even pop in an audiobook. But I will say that it has been getting better the last couple of weeks. So I've been getting through some books, but I really want to focus on reading my physical TBR. So we're gonna go through my books as well and kind of see what books are giving spring vibes and to make a little physical TBR for myself. This is going to be a very much homebody spring refresh vlog. So I hope that you enjoy this, friends. Grab yourself something cozy and warm to drink. I am drinking a cup of golden milk, which I have been loving so much. So grab yourself something cozy to drink, and I hope you enjoy this vlog. Happy early spring! Cheers! Okay, so I just finished creating my spring physical TBR and I am so happy about what I picked. I didn't necessarily go with books that are set in the spring season because honestly I don't know if some of these are, but I kind of just went off of vibes, especially because I am a mood reader. I will get bored of books very quickly, so I need to consistently be picking books that actually sound interesting to me and kind of go with the vibe that I am currently in. So I gave myself a pretty good wide range of books to pick. I got some cozy murder mystery books in there. I have some spooky books in there. I have some witchy books in there, which are all my vibe. But I kind of went with books that gave off a spring vibe. So I'm running with that. Just picking books that have a springish cover. That is what I'm sticking with for this spring season. I actually already started the audiobook for one of these books, and that is The Familiars by Stacey Halls. I've had this book in my physical TBR for a little over a year already, and I need to read this book already, and it sounds very interesting. This is about witches, which you guys know that I love a good witchy book, and this follows in particular, I think this is set in Regency, England, about a mistress who is pregnant, but she is told that she is not going to survive this pregnancy, and so she comes across this poacher, I believe, who tells her that she can help her with her pregnancy. And this is around when the witch trials are happening, and I think the poacher is accused of witchcraft and somehow it is tied to the mistress, so they get into some trouble. So I'm very excited. I started the audiobook for this. I'm about an hour in, so I cannot wait to finish this. I also already borrowed the audiobook for Lore of the Wilds by Annalise Sabrana. I have been wanting to read this book for a while now. I haven't had it in my physical TBR for that long, but I'm just so excited. This is a fantasy YA, I believe. I don't know too much about this book, but I do know that this is about our main character who is trapped in this forest, I think, and it has some fae and some romance in there, so I'm excited to get into this one. I already borrowed the audiobook, haven't started, but once I finish The Familiars, I'm going to immediately jump into Lore of the Wilds. So yeah, because I don't have a lot of space where I currently live to give it a nice little fresh spring revamp how I would want, I am working with the space that I do have, and I feel like this little corner that I just did with some springish vibes is just enough to give me just a spring serotonin boost. And you know what? That is enough for me, and I am happy with it. I just finished making these little paper fairy dolls, I guess I'll call them. And they turned out so cute. I absolutely love how these came out. I cut them out and my plan is to tape them to these sticks that I found outside and pop them on my plants. I think they would just look so cute if I just like kind of, I don't know, let's see, tape them to the back and then just stick them onto my plants and they can just be like hanging out in my plants. I did only make 3 of them. I illustrated them on my iPad and then I traced them over onto some paper. I do wish I would have used some more like thicker cardstock paper because this one's pretty thin. So some of it is kind of flimsy, but it's okay. In the future, I think I will want to probably make more. So I'll make a note to use better quality paper for these. Because spring is pretty much here, you know, spring is very much a season where I love to just be either go plant shopping and really tend to my plants, though I should be doing that year round. But it's really a time where I sort of fall in love all over again with my plants. I figured that I would just add some fairy friends to the pots. And I think they're just gonna look so cute, just kind of popping out from the plants. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. So far, the day has been going very well. I feel like spring is slowly making its way into my space and it feels really nice. I got some freshly washed covers on my bed and then I decorated that whole little area under my TV where it just looks very springish. So spring is definitely here. And now we're gonna pop some of these into my pots. So let's go and do that now. You guys, these came out super cute. Now that they're on this stick, oh, they're gonna look so cute on my plants. Oh my gosh. Super cute. I think this one might be my favorite because it's riding a snail. And then we have the little fairy riding a bird with the little dangly flower. Super cute. It's kind of hard to see, but I do have a couple of plants here that I feel I'm gonna just pop them in here. I have this plant, this one, and then I have one right here. So maybe, I think I'm gonna add them on to these and see how they look right here. I think they'll look super cute on top of my, because this is where my writing desk is. So let's see how it looks on here. I think the sticks might be a little too long. Yeah, probably. So I think I'm gonna have to cut them a little bit so they're not sticking out too much. Let's see. This is so funny. I love this. Okay, I think that's as deep as it'll probably go, but I think that's a good height. On this one because the flower was just too droopy, but they came out so good. Do you guys hear all the crickets? You can hear so many crickets. That's a beautiful sound. Hi, bud. Little lavender buds. So it has been a handful of hours later. I actually had dinner and started winding down, and I got really sleepy after dinner. So I didn't really get to vlog, but it was a nice day overall, friends. I had a really sweet and soft and slow day of just welcoming in the spring season into my space. I've talked a little bit about this before, how oftentimes I feel a little discouraged because I don't have a lot of space to film, and oftentimes I want to film like cook with me videos and just make it a whole day, but because of my current living situation where I live with multiple people, that's kind of impossible because we share a lot of the spaces here in this house, so I can't always film stuff like that. And I'm saying that to say because I always shoot to try and live my best life despite of the circumstances, and I always try to give that message to my viewers that no matter what certain circumstance you find yourself in, to always try and live the life that you desire, that you want. For me, regardless of the limited space, I try my best to romanticize my life, to do little things that bring me happiness and joy, that excite me. And I do oftentimes let my living situation bum me down, and I know I've talked about this. If you've been following me for a while, I always bring this up. Like for example, today when I was filming, I got a little down because I couldn't film more content for this particular blog that I wanted to because I'm limited on space, or certain ideas that I wanted to film just didn't come together because I couldn't use certain spaces in the house because there was either people there, or it was being used, or there was noise. So needless to say, I always try to make the best out of this experience, out of the current situations, and I hope that you do too. Whatever it is that you find yourself in, to try and make the most of it. Do not let those experiences keep you from living the truth that you want to live. So I hope that resonates with you guys. Also, a little reading update. Like I mentioned, I have been listening to the audiobook of The Familiars by Stacey Halls, and you guys, I am actually hooked. Okay, I am actually hooked. I read a handful of witchy novels before, but never something that dealt with a woman who was having trouble keeping her pregnancy, which, you know, it's kind of touche for me because if you've seen my videos, you know that I've talked a little bit about my own fertility journey. And when I picked this up, sure, I read a little bit about the back, but I didn't really understand, I suppose, how much in depth this has to do with women's anatomy, women's bodies, and how men perceive, not just back in the day, but even today, how men perceive women's bodies, and how throughout history we have always, or society has always looked at midwives or wisdom, the wise ones, right? The wisdom keepers, the wise ones. They've always looked to them as witches. And so even though this is telling a story about a woman who is having trouble staying pregnant, and she seeks the help of a midwife, and it has to do with witches, I feel like there are larger themes at play here that has to do with women's anatomy, how society has always viewed women, that can definitely correlate to today's society. Needless to say, I am really enjoying The Familiars. I think I'm already like 4 hours into the audiobook, and the audiobook is not that long. I think it's like 10 or 11 hours. So I'm hoping I can finish that book hopefully by tomorrow, because it is good, you guys. It is good. I think I am just going to go ahead and unwind for the rest of the night. There is a show that I've been watching. It is a spooky show. What is it? The Outsider, I believe. It is a Stephen King. It's based on a Stephen King novel. and I have 2 episodes left, and it is good, you guys. It is good. I want to finish that today. It is spooky, it is eerie, but I'm having a good time. So friends, I hope that you are welcoming in the spring season, however that looks like to you. Do not let your circumstances or certain situations keep you away from living your best life. I am always rooting for you. Remember that you can create the life that you want because you so deserve it. I will be seeing you in another video very, very soon. Take care, friends. Bye for now.